Hello, dear viewers. Welcome to our new international discussion initiated by the volunteers of the Creative Society Project. As you know, information is key to really understand our environment, our society, and how it's working. So this information, unfortunately, is not always easy to find or easy to face. So that is why our volunteers worked for the last 4 months since our previous conference that happened in December to be able to bring back the truth to people. On the 7th of May, an unprecedented event, the International Forum Global Crisis, We Are People, We Want to Live, took place. It was streamed on thousands of platforms and simultaneously interpreted into 100 languages. And the international team of technical support did everything possible, and sometimes impossible, to broadcast live on tens of thousands of social media and channels worldwide. We are people and we want to live. We want to make sure every single person on earth heard about the solution, the Creative Society. So, dear viewers, before we start, we're inviting you to take part of the international discussion. Please watch the forum and write to the official email info@creativesociety.com, because now it's time for everyone to speak up.
Wir möchten heute über die Bedeutung des Forums sprechen, über die Wichtigkeit der gesammelten Informationen.
Today we would like to talk about the importance of the forum, the importance of the information gathered, about the grave situation that all of humanity is in, and of course about the way out and the opportunities that building a creative society offer us. With us today are Utibe Usanga, a geographer from Nigeria, and Heather Sayre, a former Coast Guard officer from the United States. Welcome. It's good to see you here.
Wenn wir das sehen, kann es im ersten Augenblick sehr erschreckend
When we
sein.
see this, it can seem very frightening and hopeless at first. But we would like to bring this to the attention of the audience with a call to come together, to bring the scientific potential together, and to prepare in a timely way so that everything can be done to protect human life. I would like to address my question to Utibe. Utibe, you also watched the forum. What significance does the forum have for you?
Yeah, thank you very much for your question. I really appreciate. First, I want to begin by saying that from what I've learned from the forum is very, very important, and it's educative, it's amazing, it's a call to action. Though the videos, the pictures I have seen is very, very pathetic, where people lose their life, where mothers lose their children, fathers, their children, some become orphan, and that's very, very pathetic. So I would like to say that it's really important that we should unite so that we can fight against our common enemy. Thank you so much.
Indeed, thank you very much for your answer, because indeed it's not hopeless. There is possibilities to solve the situation, and it's all about unification at this moment. So thank you for emphasizing on that point, Utibe. Now I turn myself to Heather, and basically the same question. What did you get out of this conference? What do you think this is so important to share that information?
My name is Heather Sayre. I'm a U.S. Coast Guard veteran, and what I got out of it was that I didn't realize there were so many people who are already getting together in such a capacity to come together and actually build a society where we could end war and focus on coming up with a solution. I before the forum, I was under the impression that there were just these small groups of people who were aware of the climate And they had their own local solutions, like, oh, we need to prep and this sort of thing. But I was just very excited that so many people, hundreds, an enormous amount of people coming together and having a solution and not relying on big money sponsorship. And so I think that was like the biggest exciting thing right there. But I also like how it brought so many of the topics related to the 12,000-year climate cycle coming together. I tied in everything that was important, and there's just like an overwhelming amount of information out there. If you do have the spirit to dig for it, it was just it impressed me. So I stayed there and I watched. Well, as much as I could. I had to take a couple of breaks for things, but I think that was like the most exciting thing for me. I guess the only thing that I could add that could maybe improve it if we continue to delve on this and get the information out there is when I was in the Coast Guard, I worked in intelligence, and we had a kind of briefing where it's called bottom line up front. You take what's the most important thing and you put it there like first sentence. And I saw that what I found to be some of the more critical pieces, like the actual solution, the technical solution for combating the solar forcing and the means to deal with corruption, that was all kind of put like in the middle or near the end. I felt that if that was put sooner, or at least like a 5-minute blurb of that within the first hour, that would be critical to encourage people to kind of like stay and say like, hey, here's what we're presenting to you. Please stay, watch the whole thing. It gets better, I promise. Thank you.
Vielen Dank. Ja, wir haben
Thank you very much.
Not wir eigentlich auf der Welt
We have
zulassen,
seen the disasters we are actually allowing to happen in the world, even though the orientation of the creative society offers so many constructive and meaningful solutions. What do you think will help people regain faith in themselves and in constructive, just human coexistence? How can people regain faith in themselves? Utibe, could you please answer this question?
Also wie können die Menschen verstehen, dass sie dafür verantwortlich sind, und wie können sie den
What will
Glauben
bring people
zurückgewinnen,
back to
dass
faith in
ein
themselves?
kreatives
How can people understand that they are responsible for this? And how can they regain
Let me
their
begin
faith
by
in the fact
saying
that the creative coexistence is possible?
we must must change the society, if we must achieve an ideal society, if we must build an ideal society, then we must first keep sensitizing the people, keep sending messages to the people. Like in the forum, when I watched the forum, I observed that people spend their time, you spend their energy, resources, gathering data, analyzing data, and presenting results. We need to just let the society, we need to let the people know these are the events occurring. These are what is happening in the society. When people get to know that this is what is happening in the society, definitely they will start to understand that there is need to change the society for a better one. For instance, now, let's say we live in a world where there is anarchy and doom. We live in a world where there is where lies and slander rules. So, but we need to just let the people know this is what is going on in the society. And as we keep letting them know that this is what is going on in the society, they will come to the realization that this society must be changed. And to achieve this change is first through spreading the message, letting them know first what is going on in the society, the events that are taking place, which are disastrous. When they come to the realization of these events, they will not see that there's a need for unification, there's a need to unite.
Thank you very much for your answer. And you're right. there is different points that I would like to emphasize. First of all, indeed, this event was made by people like you and me, and they took their time and attention, which is the most important thing in the world. If you think about it, your time and attention for something that you believe in it and you know that it's good for people. So that's the first thing. But for the people, for the audience, I think it's important also not to take this information passively. It's something that people need to understand. It's not just something that you watch and then you forget. You really need to comprehend it, and you really need to be able to, after you understood it, starting to act. And that's really all the purpose of the forum and all of the subsequent international discussion like we are doing today, to be able to spread even more the information, plus so many other activities that the volunteers of the Creative Society are currently doing to spread that information. So yes, you're right. It's very important to have that information out there to as many people as possible. Thank you. So yeah, either same question. So what do you really think would help people to really, once again, get their faith back in themselves, that they are capable together to construct something, to build a creative society that is the best future we can think of?
For me, from my own personal experience, it's a very difficult thing to answer, because I was one of those that I learned about this whole 12,000 year cycle. I started to like more than 10 years ago, and I've been researching it and in all aspects with it. And it got to a point where I was like meeting with people and talking about these things. And some of them were very spiritually minded. They had a lot in it. But then over the years, they got tired of it. They were tired of, at least in the circles they were at, of people not listening, people just waiting for something that never came. And I saw these people just kind of fall off the map. They stopped making videos, or they stopped coming to chat. And just to think about people who are in the rat race with their blinders on, their spirit potentially broken in other matters. It's definitely not going to be easy, because the first step is like acceptance. Like it's almost like going through the stages of depression. Like I myself had to reel from it. Like this topic used to terrify me, and coming from that perspective, I think we just need to cover all our bases and make sure we don't forget that there's a spiritual aspect to this as well. And the power of positive thinking is very powerful. And if we focus on the truth, no matter how much it hurts, and we keep saying that we have a solution, I feel like that's the only way forward. Like, keep moving forward. We can't let the mistakes of the past stop us. We have to learn from all those failures, like all those times that we tried to get together before and it didn't work. We can learn from that. And now is the time to do so, because we don't have much time left.
Heather, vielen Dank für diese wichtigen Erkenntnisse.
Heather, thank you for these important realizations. Thank you for sharing them with us. For indeed, time pushes us to be active and responsible. And as you said, it takes courage to really face the challenges, to face the truth. What would you like to say to people when it comes to this understanding of coming together in pursuit of a creative society? And what does it mean? How does it affect the lives of each of us as individuals? What does unification mean for us, for our destiny? Heather, this question is for you.
Was bedeutet die Vereinigung für uns, für unser Schicksal? Herbert, diese Frage richtet sich an Sie.
I don't think I have a full answer. If it were me, I would just keep putting it out there and keep encouraging people to spread the word, because I know that in these times it's now or never, and I know that some people have decided that they're not going to do anything at all. So we should focus on the people who are willing to listen, and just in encouraging them to participate. I can't think of anything else that would be more effective than that.
Die Frage bezog sich auf das Forum, das zeigt.
The question was referring to a forum that shows that indeed unification is decisive for our lives. And when you realize that unification is a vital necessity in these challenging times, then that is the greatest motivation for us to act and unite through information sharing and informing other people about the goal of building a human world, a creative society.
Indeed. And I mean, as you explained earlier, you had that experience already about an information that you knew about the 12,000 cycle, that people start to talk about it, and then it's people that maybe keep on addressing things, make it possible to bring so many people, like during the forum, to talk about this topic. I think one thing that is very important with this forum is that it helps to really connect the dots. The 12,000 cycle could be a topic of fear if you take it on its own, without any idea of what to do about it. Because when you think about it, it's very hard to say, okay, how can we fix that? Or how can we save ourselves from that cycle? And I think, as you mentioned, keep on talking about it is very important, and helping people to connect the dots between the 12,000 cycle, the climate change, also the way that people are behaving, the consumer society, all of this tied together to make the answer, the creative society, even more compelling, even more kind of logical, and then making them maybe be part of this whole journey of creating this creative society. Do you agree with this idea of having all of the problem together rather than taking one piece on its own?
Yeah, kind of like just saying it's all related. It's all connected. Putting it out there is just one piece, and I know that's hard to do, but it's just so easy to get distracted with everything. And maybe if we focus on the barriers that keep people from wanting to face it, that would potentially be very effective. I did just realize there might be another way to do it. I remember thinking when the forum was talking about all the climate refugees and the war refugees, and these climate disasters are just going to get worse and worse and worse. And eventually it's going to happen in your own backyard. So if we stress that this is coming, this is not something that you can just sit and pray that it will wash over, that one of these days, very soon, you could be a refugee. Like, you may have nothing and nowhere to go, and no one is safe from this.
That's very true. I mean, if we're not doing anything, sooner or later, everybody will understand that there is a climate crisis but unfortunately it might be too late. So it's very important indeed. Thank you for your answer. Utibe, maybe the same question that I would like to ask you, maybe also on the idea you mentioned, talking about it. What would you say to a person that maybe already watched the forum but doesn't feel that he want to talk about it, remain silent? What would you say to people to make sure they can spread that information and don't be silent and inactive? How do you motivate people for being part of this effort?
Okay, on that, first I'll let them know that they need to stand up, they need to stand together to fight through these ways, because if you do not fight against this climate effect, if you do not join together to stop all the problem happening one day to get to you. When I watched the forum, I saw people, like I said, people, they lose their loved ones. And you may like say today, because I'm not a flood victim, it's none of my concern. But how are you sure that tomorrow it will not come to your doorstep? So I would tell somebody who watched the video, who has watched the forum, and said, no, I don't want to contribute. I'll tell the person, you need to act, because if every day, even over here in our country, Nigeria, it increased the rates of let's say, for instance, the rate of flooding is increasing. Every year it keeps getting worse. People who were not displaced last year or in the previous years were displaced in the coming years. So I would like to tell them that they have to join hands to fight against a common enemy, which is the climate change. Because if they don't, it will one day come to them. And when it comes to them, nobody knows the effect it will have on them. So we need to unite. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Utibe, for your answer. And you mentioned flood in Nigeria, and maybe experience that you have that you would like to maybe develop a little bit, to maybe show us how people react, where people prepare for such a catastrophe, and how they manage to overcome that situation. Do you have a little bit more on that specific catastrophe that you mentioned?
Yes, sorry for the delay. Thank you so much. Concerning flooding. Flooding is one of the, what would I say, the serious problem we are having here in Nigeria. It increases every year. Like already this year, NEMA and other agencies, the meteorological agencies that who monitor flooding has already warned that people who are in the flood risk zone, they should prepare for worst. Because every year what we notice over here is the increase. It increases every year, and it keeps destroying people's life, people's property. Even early this year, in my area where I live, one person's life was lost already, just the beginning already, and somebody's losing his or her life. So I would like to say that flooding, it's destructive over here. So flooding in Nigeria, in all the states, I know. And the problem again is here, no proper planning. People aren't planning for it. You know, it will be broadcasted. The scientists will tell the people, this year there'll be high flooding in this region. Let's say Lagos, which is one of the mega cities. They will tell them there'll be flooding in Lagos. There'll be flooding in, let's say, Akwa Ibom State. They'll mention the areas because of the flood zone. Let's say in Akwa Ibom State that I come from. The IBB area of it is a Babangida area, like that avenue. There's always flood in that region because that's a flood plain. They'll be telling people, you need to leave this place at this time. Even waterways, and you need to clean your gutters. you need to make sure that everywhere is clean so that water is flowing, it can flow properly. But people don't want to listen. And when it's happened like that, they become victims. And it's now putting a pressure on the government to now start saying, let's start building houses for people. Let's start giving them a little money to take care of their loved ones. So I will say that flooding in Nigeria, it's always very severe. Like the rainy season have began again in Nigeria, the flooding is going to be severe from the already released information. So that's what I have to say on flooding here. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Utibe.
Es gibt niemanden, der
Yes, there is no one who hasn't noticed these changes. You don't even have to look far because climate change is affecting everybody today. And many people are losing their place of residence and having to leave their homes. This is very, very evident right now. And this information was collected at the forum from around the world. And it was shown that climate disasters are gaining momentum and are synchronizing everywhere in the world. And the creative society aims to warn people in a timely manner so that they are protected, so that they can be supported by society if disaster happens to them. Unfortunately, in this format of society that is now, it's not the case where society is focused on profit rather than on precious, priceless human life, which must be cherished.
Yes, it's very true that it's very like the formats of our society that needs to change, and that change from everybody changing. It's not something that the responsibility needs to be put on somebody else and just waiting, like Eva mentioned, people just waiting for things to happen. No, we need to make things happen. Nobody going to do it for us. And it's very important that we unified ourselves and to bring all that potential into the creation of our solution, the creative society. Thank you very much to our guests today. My sincere thanks to you for already taking time to participate to this discussion, to enriching the conversation, to contribute and to make a very valuable impact on spreading this information. You are true heroes of this time, being able to speak up, not being silenced regarding such an important topic. We keep on using that kind of story to really make people understand. Imagine that you are sleeping at night and then you wake up in the middle of the night and you see the house of your neighbors burning. Will you not just run at their door and knock on their door and try to wake them up? Or you're just going to let them burn? That's exactly the situation in which we are right now. We know, we have the knowledge that something is burning, either the house of the neighbor or either our planet. And it's up to us to knock on anybody else's door and to let them know that there is a danger and we need to do something about it. Because we cannot, as human beings, just let them there, not knowing what's going on. So very important indeed to share this information. So if you have watched the International Forum and would like to participate to an international discussion like today, please, once again, contact info@creativesociety.com. I would like to say that the forum is very important for all of the people, and the information needs to be heard by all. In order to build a better future, we must work for it. Sharing the forum is a good starting point for people to gain this understanding of the real truth. Thank you very much.
Ja, dieses Forum darf gerne geteilt werden.
Yes, don't forget to share the forum on social media, among friends and acquaintances, because when people get this information, they see the truth. Information that affects our lives, that can save our lives and fundamentally change them. for the better.
positiv verändern können.
This truth is the basis for a new beginning, for a thriving humanity,
Der Wahrheit ist ein
humane
Grundstein
society,
für einen
for the
Neuanfang, für
creative
eine
society.
blühende menschliche Gesellschaft, für die kreative
Thank you
Gesellschaft. Vielen Dank
to our
unsere
viewers
Zuschauer
and our
und an
guests
unsere
for being with
Gäste,
us
dass ihr
today.
heute mit uns wart.
Share this
Tragen Sie
information
gerne diese Informationen weiter.
and all the best.
Alles Gute
Bye.
und auf Wiedersehen.